Hey everyone, so as a creative, your talent is your everything, right? It's your currency. But what if I told you the single biggest threat to your business isn't a lack of skill, but something else entirely? Something you might not even be thinking about. Let's break down the real code to a thriving creative career. You know the feeling. You've spent years honing your craft, you're putting out amazing work, and yeah, you're getting noticed. But maybe you still feel like you're stuck, just chasing one-off jobs, wondering why those clients aren't sticking around for the long haul. It's a super common frustration, and it's because of a simple truth. Talent gets you in the door, but it doesn't guarantee a successful business.
And that feeling, that struggle, it leads us straight to our first big idea, the problem. I like to call it the talent trap. It's this frustrating cycle where your incredible skill gets you noticed, but somehow it just doesn't lead to stable, long-term success. Let's dig into why that happens.
Your amazing skill, your unique style, that's the magnet, for sure. It pulls a potential client in. But here's the trap. Your talent handles the attraction, but it does almost nothing to create retention. It doesn't build the loyalty that leads to repeat business and referrals. And that's the absolute lifeblood of a sustainable career.
Okay, so if talent alone isn't enough to build that bridge to success, what is? Well, that brings us to the solution. It's all about shifting our focus from just showing off our skills to building what I call the trust foundation. And this is where ethical factors come into play. Now, I know what you're thinking. The word ethics can sound a little heavy, right? But in this context, it's not some lofty moral code. Think of it as a practical toolkit for your business. These are simply the actions you take to build a stellar reputation and make a client feel totally secure and respected when they work with you. I mean, think about it. When a client commissions work from you, they aren't just buying a JPEG or a physical object. They're making an emotional investment in you, in your vision, your process, your professionalism. They really need to trust that you're going to deliver on your promise and treat them fairly.
So how do we actually build this foundation of trust? Let's get right into it with our next section, your ethical toolkit. We're going to break it down into 4 super practical pillars that you can start using like today.
All right, let's unpack this toolkit. First up, respect privacy. This is non-negotiable. It's the absolute baseline of respect. You never, ever share a client's personal info without their explicit permission. It shows you value them as a person, not just a paycheck. Second, deliver your promise. Sounds simple, but it's so critical. The final work has to match the expectation you set. This is the very core of your reliability. Third, be honest. This is all about communication, communication, communication. Be upfront about timelines, how many revisions are included, and especially if there are any delays. Trust me, bad news delivered honestly is always, always better than silence. And finally, number 4, disclose AI use. In today's world, this is a big one. If you use AI to help you create, just be transparent about it. Honesty here is absolutely key to keeping that client's trust in your creative integrity.
So, what actually happens when you start doing these things consistently? Well, that brings us to the result. You'll literally see your customer relationships transform, moving from just a simple client to a genuine promoter of your work.
And this slide just lays it out so perfectly. Over on the left, you've got the one-time buyer. That relationship, it's all business, purely transactional, driven only by your talent. But look at the right, the loyal supporter. That relationship is built on trust. They value you, the artist, not just the art. They come back for more work, and even better, they become your best marketing tool, telling everyone they know about you.
So, what's the ultimate return on this investment in ethics? Let's zoom out for our final point, the ultimate ROI. This is about playing the long game and really understanding your long-term impact. So, here it is, the most crucial point. If you take just one thing away from all of this, let it be this quote: "Talent attracts customers, but ethics turn them into loyal supporters." This is the core of the creator's code. Your talent opens the door, but it's your integrity, your reliability, and your honesty that convince people to stay and to bring their friends.
And this is the long-term payoff. This is the good stuff. Your investment in being an ethical creator earns you repeat customers. It creates the most powerful marketing on the planet, genuine word of mouth. Suddenly, you're not just a freelancer chasing the next gig. You're building a sustainable, respected brand with deep roots.
So I'll leave you with this question to really think about. Looking at those 4 pillars we talked about, privacy, promises, honesty, and transparency, what is the one ethical promise your business is going to stand for? Because defining that, well, that's the real first step toward building a creative business that doesn't just survive, but truly thrives.